Okay, so the first thing we're going to talk about is masking in After Effects. We turn on the display so you guys can see. And then we'll do that in two different ways, and then we'll show rendering. There it is. I'll show you how to render your After Effects project so you can get your final video. Okay. So to begin, we're going to do the more common way to mask out things, and I'm just going to create some little fictitious scenarios for us to deal with. So I'm going to create a shape, and I'm going to say this shape is what I want to block things out. So I'm going to move something. I'm going to make something disappear behind this jar and then go in front of it. So let me select this, and maybe I'll just make it go behind both jars. So I'm just putting a box in the way that covers up both the jars. Okay, and let's say the object that I want to go behind that, and this could be your rendered stuff from your Maya files or whatever. It could be anything. But I'm going to create another shape just to make it really simple. We'll make a circle. We'll make a new layer. And there's my circle. Okay. Now I'll go ahead and make these different colors so we can really see them. Let's make that one red. Okay. The color of this box does not matter at all. Okay. So to get this so we want this box to be our mask. So to do that, we got to move that to the top layer. And so the circle is our shape layer 2. And with this box as the top layer, we'll select our circle layer, and we'll go to Layer, Track Matte, and then Alpha Matte. Okay, so what it did, I switched to my regular move tool. I can only see the circle if it's inside of that box. Not quite what I wanted. So all I have to do is invert it. So I go to Layer, Track Matte, Alpha Invert. Okay, so now if whatever this is, so like in my animation, maybe it was a sack of flour or something, maybe the video footage, if I want it to disappear and go behind these jars, then I've accomplished that. Okay, it really is that easy. Okay, well sometimes you've got a transparent object though, like the jar. Okay, and so you want to have more control than that. So you can't use just a shape, and you can view this shape still if you want to by just turning on the eye again, turning on its visibility on that layer. By default, it turns it off for you. So I'm going to hide both of these for now. And I'm going to add a circle that I created in Photoshop. Okay, I just put a black circle in the middle and I blurred it to the extreme. Okay, so here's my circle. It's underneath, my red circle is underneath this blurred black dot. So I can't see it right now. Well, it turns out I can use the grayscale values of a picture also to create a matte or a mask. And so all I have to do is with my red circle layer selected, go to Layer, Track Matte, and Luma Matte. Okay. So now my red circle, I had to turn off the visibility of this circle layer manually. I'm not sure why. It doesn't really matter. But I had to turn it off manually. So if I move this red circle to the center where that black dot is, it can't be seen anymore. But if I move it out, then it can. And it's kind of got a gradient effect. And so I could take this image into Photoshop and manipulate it. And I could create a grayscale image for it to adjust the so that I could have some transparency in the jar for my mask layer. And then when my animation passes behind it, it would partially disappear. You know, it'd be fully disappeared behind the flower, but through the glass, it would only be partially gone. Okay? So there's another thing you can do. Now, to make this more dramatic, I'll import a circle just to make sure. Just a plain old circle, not blurred. Import. I'll drag this down. Oops, wrong layer. And now that it's disappearing behind that circle. So anywhere the pixels are black, it's not going to show through, and anywhere it's white, it will show through. Or any value in between, it will be partially dismissed. Okay, and just like the other one, like the alpha mask, we could also invert this to the Luma inverted matte. Now it's only visible where it's black and not where it's white. Okay, so that's how you're going to do your masking. Now, when you are in Maya, so let me load up Maya. Let's see how many big programs I can open up at once. Oh, my small laptop. So when you're in Maya and you do your rendering, there's an alpha mask. That's what it's called. And so you can use that to do this effect. Let me, actually, I guess I'll just pause the video while Maya's loading. Okay, so now I've got Maya open. Let me just create a sphere real quick. And if I were to render this, there's the sphere in the middle. But if I click, and that's the RGB picture of it. But if I click on this little black and white circle, this is the alpha mask. And that's just what it's created for you. And you can, using render layers, which you've already talked about, you can separate these and export them individually. And that's how you're going to do your compositing in After Effects. Okay.